Hadley Capital Planning Committee meeting to order. And this should be a relatively quick meeting. We only have one item on the agenda, an adjustment to our prior vote that Linda can go into, and maybe Scott can contribute a little bit too as far as the details are concerned. So, Linda, why don't you go ahead and explain exactly why we are having this meeting,
Sure,
the
sure.
adjustment that's needed in our vote.
Mike, did you want to do it or you want me to?
That's up to you, Linda. I explained it to finance and select board last night. They were fine with it, but
All right, yeah. So yes, and I know that David Phil is on your board, on your committee here, and he did approve it last night as part of select board. So did you all get the worksheet I sent yesterday, or would you like me to share that on the screen for the article, the amended Article 4? Should I share it?
Sure.
I have to shut the door. All right, are you seeing Capital 4? Article 4?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right,
Well,
so
it's
there are.
gone now.
Oh, okay, I have to put it back on the other monitor. I get a conflict between my two monitors. Is it back?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so there are a handful of little changes. The total of what we're considering, there's nothing new for you to consider that you haven't already discussed or had a department head in to discuss. It began with the borrowing, the multi-use excavator. Once the DPW determined that 1/4, 3/4 was a better division between the allocation of the usage of that piece of equipment than 50/50, then that freed up a good portion of borrowing within the levy. And we probably would have left it right there, except for the fact that we are at the same time experiencing a greater free cash pinch than we had anticipated. So it became important, if we could, to spend less out of free cash in the capital items. So you'll see the first thing then is the multi-use excavator going from 1/4 to 3/4. And then right above that are the free cash articles, which you put right into borrowing within the levy. So they took that place. And as you know, we may not need to do the computer server borrowing, but the stormwater management is an ongoing issue, and we'll probably have to deal with this next year as well. In addition, if you remember earlier on, I said I took a couple of capital requests and said these really belong in the budgets. And it's not that they don't belong in the budgets, except that they then within the budgets, they were going to use up more of the free cash. The importance of preserving free cash, so you understand, is that for the last 3 years, unlike before that, we had been at the annual town meeting in the spring, we have been using already certified free cash to fund the upcoming budget and not waiting till fall to balance the budget. We've been balancing it right then and there. It's been a good change in policy and one that the Finance Committee feels strongly that we stick to. So therefore, we pulled those two capital requests back into capital and are suggesting that they too be borrowed within the levy. And that adds up to another 25,000 there. And again, if we don't end up borrowing for the dispatch, that's an easy replacement in for what we already allocated at the last meeting for the excavator. So it's just a little moving things around, which makes a very large difference in free cash. Almost, let's see, 2070.
77.
Yeah, almost, yeah, 77.5 plus these. So about 100,000, a little over $100,000 in free cash difference, which is significant with the planning. Okay, so the total of that article then is brought up by this additional 25,000 that we put at the bottom. So it's 946,500, and we fully recognize that the capital planning should be making these recommendations first. We just got into, the warrant has to be posted today. We had finance committee meeting on Monday night and select board meeting and voting on it last night. And we just had to move ahead and then deal with capital planning committee. I was in touch with Paul to make sure he felt that it wasn't significant, that it was, it's not that it's not significant, that it was okay, that he thought this was probably going to move ahead. So I leave it there. There you go, Paul.
Okay, so we're basically the order, we reversed the order out of necessity, the order of approval.
Yes.
And
Yeah. And
so it looks like you said in your letter to us that we were short on our free cash or what was expected by about 130. So we're going to be close to 100. So you only have to worry about another 30,000 come springtime. Then, if I'm reading you correctly.
yes, and we did make other adjustments in the budget as well. So we have been able to. This isn't the only place that was worked on. There was the budget itself was brought down to at the finance committee's request. So we are at a point now where our free cash, let's see, the difference was about 120,000. I think we were looking at 561 in free cash, and by the end of this, we were at close to 700,000. 681 maybe. So you're right. Okay. We made up 130. Yeah. So.
Good. So you pretty much accounted for that 130 already. It's been adjusted in one way or the other.
Right. And we had a couple of budgets we knew were overfunded, not intentionally, but we know things now that we didn't know when we were doing the budget nearly a year ago. That's how far in advance we do budgets. And so once we get actual expenses from the prior year ending, we can see that there's a couple of places we could bring some of the expenses down. Again, that was done within the regular budget Article 1. But this one is yours, and this is your part of the solution. So we would appreciate if you would discuss, ask questions, whatever you need to see if we can get a yes vote on making these changes.
Well, it sounds like a good workaround to me. I didn't know if any other committee members have any questions or comments or concerns about this proposal.
You need a motion?
I would entertain one if no one has any other comments or questions.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the amended Article 4, capital articles, to the amount of $946,500.
Seconded.
Okay, a motion has been made and seconded. And any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a roll call vote. Christine Pipchinsky.
Aye.
Paul Benjamin.
Aye.
Paul McCretsky. Aye. So the motion passes. And I think that's it. Any other business that anyone has? Is there anything?
You like a motion to adjourn?
That would be nice.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, a motion to adjourn has been made and seconded. And any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. Christine Pipchinsky.
Aye.
Paul Benjamin.
Aye.
And Paul McCretsky. Aye. The meeting is adjourned at 9:40, and